Everyone. Today I want to talk about Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds is a new game mode added to Throne with the Tier 3. It's a 24 vs 24 and it is actually mega fun. I had a lot of fun playing actually and testing a bunch of different classes. As many of you know, the Dark Blood is kinda dead. I even tried to play a little bit and it works, Dark Blood's Dark Blood, it's always gonna be a little bit of fun. It has decent AoE damage, but it's way different from before. It's not a big damage one tap anymore. With the shields it's even harder. Anyways, you know the drill, Dark Blood is kind of struggling. So it's a really cool game mode to test things. So I was testing one orb, I was testing orb staff, I was testing orb dagger. But regardless, let's talk about the game mode. So first thing, like I said, it's a good thing. It's a good place to test things. The other thing that I like about it is that there are 5 points that you gotta gather, and those 5 points they change the multiplier that they have randomly. So it's really cool because that always forces the gameplay, the strategy behind it to change. So you always see people moving around the map based on need, like, oh, now it's a multiplier of 4, so you need the multiplier. So it's always like changing the place that people gotta go. I like the golems, they add some funny gimmicks in the game mode, and I like the buffs that you can get around. It feels very dynamic, like the map is not that huge, so that's pretty nice. Even if you die, you get in combat really quick again. So it feels like you're always doing something during the entire match, so that's pretty nice. I think it's a really good addition, a refresh addition that should have been in the game since the start, but welcome to the game regardless. Now let's talk about the bad points. The first thing is chain composition. I had a few matches that I simply got matched without any healers. So what happened there? Why does my party doesn't have any healers? Shouldn't I have like one tank and one healer at least, or two healers? What is going on? And I'm not sure if the leader of the Vanguard can pouch your healer, because I know I saw some Vanguard leaders. I think they can change the position of the party members, and I saw some of them just reorganizing things. Can you just pouch the healers for your team, like your party? I don't know, but I noticed I was playing some matches without any healers, and that's pretty unplayable. But regardless, that's one of the problems. The other problem is balance. And balance comes from many different things, from classes, from gear score, from a bunch of things. But more than anything, is about the gear score for new players after the hyper boost and old players. Right now, after you leave the hyper boost, if you finish everything, you'll get almost 6,000 gear score. And with the 6,000 gear score, you can kill in the battlegrounds. But if you fight versus anyone that has around 7,000 or more gear score, you're just gonna get stomped. If you fight with anyone with proper tier 2 gear, you're just gonna get stomped. So I don't really know the solution for this. I don't know if there should be a like MMR with ranked, maybe that's gonna solve the problem. I know if there should be like maybe a type of kill for only hyper boost players. Not sure how this could be done, but right now it's not very fun for the new players at all, to be honest. Maybe there should be some, balancing or leveling. Or I know people don't like when they equalize status, but that would be much more fun and fair for new players to try the game mode, because only veterans are having most fun right now, which is fine to have a game mode for veterans, but it's such a fun game mode. I think new players should also be allowed to play and have fun. So that's another one of the big issues. Now another problem is backcapping. Backcapping is fine, is always being started in many games. But the problem here is if there is a tank that is very very good, right? Let's say like that. It's very end game. It has a lot of collision, weak, and resistance. He has a really good build, lots of shield. He's just a wall. It literally forces like one party or two parties just to keep coming back to the back point just to kill the tank. Because if you come back by yourself, you're not going to be able to kill the tank. Even if you come back by your entire party, you might not be able to kill the tank. Or better saying, you will kill the tank, but it will take so long and so many resources. And I actually really hate that this is a threat that the tank just go by himself from the other side of the map just to annoy a whole party by backcapping. Like, I don't think that should be a thing, and honestly, I don't know the proper solution to this, but it kind of would be solved with another problem, which is stomping. You see, it's natural, the battlegrounds will not be balanced because it's random kill and classes are not balanced at all. So usually the team with more X-bows and more GS daggers win. But there's a huge problem with stomping. So I have had a few matches that literally the enemy team was like 60 to 70,000 points ahead, and they had all the flags, and you couldn't properly even leave the base to get the first flag because they were spawn killing. So, like, I think there should be something that punishes players from going too far from their spawn. I think there should be something like maybe an area, like let's say there's the field, like 30% from your side you get a buff or they get a debuff, and same thing from the other side, to force the enemies like to take risk when they go take those closer flags to you, right? They have some type of debuff. I know. I just think it's way too hard to move around depending on how strong is your 24-man party, Vanguard, right? And I think it would work much better if there was at least something that would allow you to defend yourself. You know, like towers on League that serve for protection or something like that. Because right now it feels really hard to do anything if your team is your Vanguard is much worse than the other Vanguard. And the final thing they really should work about is fixing damage, fixing a balance of classes. The Vanguard, the side that has the most X-Bow and most Chest Dagger, will always win. It is what it is. It is the class that is best in small scale. It always beat the other classes like 90% of the times. So it is what it is. But I really hope NCS and AGS start working on balancing classes. Either improve all classes to be on the same level that those classes are in small scale, which is a terrible idea because they are terrible designs by choice. Or better, do nerf everything. Make time to kill be at least 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, instead of a 0.1 second. Instead of being a game of whoever is invisible and gets the other one first usually wins, or whoever has smoke. And if you don't have any of those, you don't play the game, you know, because time to kill is 0.01 second. So yeah, I really hope they start looking into those type of things, because this will definitely make the Battlegrounds much better and much more fun for everyone. Because right now it's a fiesta that is only being fun for people that either use dagger or specifically use Jest dagger, X-bow dagger, or even staff dagger or spear dagger, the more meta classes, right? So really they should pay more attention to the game balance. They should pay more attention to the time to kill, the combat, because that's not very skilled. Doing a one tap on someone without having any prep, without having any counters, without having any rotations is really not that good. It's really bad design in a lot of things. You don't have to aim, you don't have to target, you can just stab or just click. It's really bad. It's like really, really bad. Honestly, all skills in the game should be changed to be targeted by cast. And with that, I mean area casting. You should have to aim where you're gonna go do your guillotine. You should have to aim where you're gonna dash. You should have to aim your shadow step. That will make the game much better. And then this will become skill play, at least. Because right now it's just step target, click on someone, shadow step into your boom 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 combo, the guy's dead, you know? Like, that's gonna be 90% of the time. I could go on and on about game balance and how, you know, some classes and specifically dagger and free status during the game, but that's gonna be a whole nother video. If you don't agree, honestly, it's fair, it's your opinion, but there's a reason why you only see top scores usually being GS and X-bow daggers, and that's why they are all usually top kills as well in any Dominion, any guild versus guild. You know, it's just really annoying. But yeah, regardless, of course, there are small scale behemoths, and when you put them in large scale, they lose a lot of power. But the point is, it's just not fun to play Battlegrounds with those classes around. That's about it. Thank you for watching. See ya.